All right, guys and gals. So the next conic section we're going to talk about is the ellipse. So in a circle, it's a set of points equidistant from a center point. An ellipse does have a center point, but that's not what we're worried about with it. We're worried about the foci. Now, for the ellipse, it's generated by the sum of the distances being the same from the two foci. That's how an ellipse is made. So if you ever got two pegs and put the rubber band on them and drew the ellipse, that's how you create an ellipse. Some of y'all probably did that when you were little. So again, D1 and D2, the distance from both foci to the edge, the sum of those, is always going to be the same, no matter what point we are on that ellipse. So that distance will be the same as this distance right here, whatever. So a few definitions. The major axis is the longer axis. Is it your X or your Y? It doesn't matter. It's one of them. Who knows? It's whichever one's longer. Minor axis, shorter axis. Center is where your axes intersect. Again, we're not so worried about that for forming the ellipse, but that does let us actually figure out where our vertices and co-vertices are. So the vertices are the endpoints of the major axis. The co-vertices are the endpoints of the minor axis. So all this is going to make a lot more sense when we start doing some problems. Okay, so we got ourselves a horizontal ellipse and a vertical ellipse. Here's those points on there. Horizontal ellipse, well, the major axis is on your X. It doesn't have to be on the X-axis. It could be, shifted, but it's a horizontal major axis, and we call those endpoints vertices. Endpoints of the minor axis are co-vertices. Very important. Your foci are always going to be on your major axis. Doesn't matter if it's a horizontal or vertical ellipse. Foci, major axis. So, A and B, we're going to be using that a lot. A is greater than B, period. Is A with the X or Y? Sure, who cares? A is bigger than B, okay? One second. Excuse me, sorry about that. So your vertices are plus or minus A units from your center. Co-vertices are plus or minus B units from the center. Major axis is 2A long, minor axis is 2B long. Foci are plus or minus C from the center. We got a formula for C, and no, that is not Pythagorean theorem. So C squared is equal to A squared minus B squared. Now, you're like, what's A, what's B, what's going on here? Don't worry, whenever you see your formulas, there we go. That's where A and B are. So A is the bigger one. So right here, these two right here would be horizontal ellipses, because A is underneath the X. Over here, A is underneath the Y's, so that means it's going to be a vertical ellipse. Notice it's equal to 1. If you're not equal to 1, you're not in standard form. You got to be equal to 1. Nothing matters except for it's equal to 1. From there, notice it's x squared and y squared. If you're not, you have like x squared plus x plus something. Fix it. Complete the squares. Make it x minus h squared. That'll get you your center, just like a circle. Center is hk, hk. Doesn't matter if it's vertical or horizontal. Center is going to be hk. So let's just get in this thing. So the first thing we do is figure out what A is, what B is, and what C is, and what our center is. So A, well, this is 4, that's 36. A is the bigger one, and A, now let's go back here. So A squared is on the bottom, and B squared is on the bottom. So this is A squared. So I square root 36, I get 6. B, well, that's B squared, so square root of 4 is 2. Now, C squared is equal to A squared minus B squared, so we could do 6 squared minus 2 squared. Oh, wait, they're right here for us to just subtract. Now, with this particular section, we will be graphing stuff, so you're going to need decimals. So C is going to be the square root of 32. That's not very useful for us. That's about So, you do the work, you get 32, you square root your answer, and you get 4 square root of 2. Still not useful, 5.7. Just, we got to be able to plot that thing. So we need some sort of decimal, tens place. You don't need to go any further than that. Now that we have the info, we can actually start graphing this thing. So start with your center. H and K, they're both 0 here, so, well, 0, 0. Plot it. You cannot do anything until you plot your center. After that, you are going to count. A is 6. That means I'm going to go either up, down, left, or right. 6. Where is my major axis? Is it horizontal? Is it vertical? It's vertical. So I'm going to go up and down 6 units from my center. Those are my vertices. Remember, on the major axis, you have your vertices. My co-vertices will be 2 units from my center. Those are my co-vertices on my minor axis. My foci are always on my major axis. So 5.5, that's right below here, right below there. Then you connect the dots. And an ellipsis, say, yeah, that's not going to work. So try and draw something sort of ovular. Yeah. Not too terrible. So that's the graph of it. Now the vertices and co-vertices and foci, read your graph. This vertex is at 0, 6. This vertex is at 0, -6. Doesn't matter which one goes first. No, they're just listing the order pairs. Co-vertices at 2, 0 and -2, 0. And foci at 0, 5.7 and 0, -5.7. Now it's really nice whenever your center is 0, 0 because, well, you just have to use A, B, and C. It's not too hard to figure out your vertices and foci from that. Whenever it starts shifting, then you actually have to think and add. I know, adding, terrible. Let's do another example. Okay. A, which one of these is bigger? 64 is bigger, square root of 64 is 8. Then B has to be 5, which means C squared is going to be 64 minus 25. So C is the square root of something or another. 64 minus 25 is 39. Again, that's not very useful for us since we actually have to graph this thing. Square root of 39 is about 6.2. My center again is 0, 0, so that's nice. Makes everything much easier. Okay. This time X is my major axis because look, the big one's underneath the X's. So I'm going to go 8 here. I think this is 8. 3, 6, 8. Yeah. So that's 8. On minor axis, I'm going to go 5 and 5. And I'm going to go 6 and a piece. So this is 8, 7, 6 and a piece. 6 and a piece. There's all my points. Might be easier for you to get your vertices and co-vertices and whatnot before you actually scribble through them. So let's see. My vertices are 8, 0, -8, 0. Here and here. Co-vertices are at 5, 0, and -5, or 0, 5, and 0, -5. Foci are at 6.2 and -6.2, 0. My battery is being eaten, so I might have to pause this and go charge it. 1 second. Let's see if we can get through these. And then we just sketch the graph. Try and make it roundish. Try and go through the vertices and co-vertices. Not too terrible. Don't draw straight lines. If you draw straight lines, I'm taking off points. All right, something more interesting finally. Again, start with A, B, and C. Which one of these is bigger? That one. Square root of that is 7. And that means B is 3. C squared is gonna be, well, 49 minus 9 is 40, so square root of 40, 6.5-ish. 6.3, a little past 6. All right, my center this time is at -1, 2. Remember we were shifting those mother functions. It's the opposite sign. That's a shift left 1, that's a shift up 2. Okay, so it's in parentheses being squared, it's operated on, it just makes everything go backwards. Anyway, just like a circle, same kind of thing. HK, change the signs, done. Plot your center. -1, 2. That's your center point. Use A from the center to get your vertex and your other vertex. Okay, so 7, that's what the X is. So on the X, I'm going to count left 7. I count right 7 from here. There. Hopefully I didn't screw up counting. I don't think I did. And while I'm here, I'm going to go 6 and a piece and 6 and a piece. I knew this was 7, so it's a little bit less than that. Like this should be in line, you know, it's on the same level. 3 here and here. So now before I sketch my ellipse, I'm definitely going to get my ordered pairs because they're going to be not easy to read. So it's not all nice and 0, 7, 7, 0, all that good stuff. It's -1, -1 for one of my covertices. The other one's at -1, 5. My vertices, that's -8, 2. Actually, what, 6, 2? And here, -7.32 and 5.3, 2. So we're just reading these points on our graph. That's it. Nothing fancy. Make them curved-ish as best as possible. That really sucked. I'm gonna try again. It's slightly easier with a pencil instead of a trackpad. There. E. Almost. Connect. There. Perfect. But it's good enough. Okay. Okay. C, 4. It's gonna take a minute. Guys, I'm gonna pause it. Let me go get my charger. So I'll be right back. And we're back, and I've got power. So let's go ahead and get the center. Well, A, B, C. Again, 25 minus 4 is 21. Square root of that is 4.5-ish. Again, we just need somewhere to plot it. 4.5-ish, 4.6. Okay, center. 3, 1. Again, H, K. It's x minus h, y minus k. So 3, 1 is about right there. 5 units, my major axis is x. So I'm going to go 5 on the x. There, there, 2 on the y. There, so 2 vertically. And there. Foci are right here and here. Again, I'm going to get my ordered pairs before I try and sketch. Did I even sketch that thing? I did. Okay. Before I try and sketch it. So again, we're looking at the major axis, -2, 1. And that's 8, 1. Can't read a graph and don't know what to tell you. That's 3, -1. That's not a 1. Right, which I actually think it is instead of something random. 3, 3. Foci are right before. So that's -1.6. 1. And this one is 7.6. 1. Yeah, okay. Sketch it. Try and make it nice and smooth without making it do this kind of crap. I'm not going to take off points for your ellipses unless you draw straight lines or they look really, really, really terrible. Like if you do this, that's a no. Oh man. So make a nice semicircle-ish thing up here and down here. Draw it decently. It doesn't have to be perfect, but do your best. All right, let's take a look at this guy. That's going to be more interesting. Oh, so here, A, well, square root of 36 is 6. B, square root of 20, I don't know. Square root of 20, that would be 4.5-ish. Now, I would definitely suggest subtracting these because c squared is going to equal 36 minus 20, which is 16. But if you were to do this in the calculator, 6 squared minus the rounded version, you're going to get something slightly different. You'd get that. Okay? So that's why you just go with these numbers instead of your rounded version here. C squared 16, that makes c equal to 4. Excuse me. Center, -4, -2. Go, 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 go. Plot that thing. I think we just got smaller here. Yep. So from there, my major axis is y this time. So I'm going to go 6 up. Go 6 down. While I'm here, I might as well go 4 up and down. Because that's my foci, you know. And then 4.5-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4.5-ish on the horizontal. Again, get your points before you connect your ellipse. Vertex number 1, -4, 4. Vertex number 2, -4, -8. These are 10 by 10s now. See the difference in the graphs? These are 8 by 8s. These are 10 by 10s, so that's 8. foci, well, coverses first, I guess. That's about 0.5 and -2. This one, -4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. -2. Foci, -4, 2. -4, -6. Go. Connect that ellipse. Slightly less crappy way than I do it. That's sufficient, I guess. So far, not so bad, right? Right. Oh my God, what do I do? Oh no, how? What? What's A, what's B? Oh, it. Look, what's that equal to? That's not 1. We need to equal 1. How do I make that? How do I how do I make that equal 1? I divide by itself. I'm just gonna rewrite the dang thing. Simplify, of course. Now, of course, you could simplify this in your head. That's 144 is 12 squared, right? So that's 3 times 4 times 3 times 4. So this is 16 on the bottom. And this one is 9. Or you could just, take your calculator. 9 over 144, 1/16. Hair's in the way, tickle my nose. All right. Now, yay. Squared. So center here, hey, 0, 0, yay, we love 0, 0. 0, 0 is our favorite. A is 4, B is 3, C squared is gonna be the square root of 7. So C is a little less than 3. No idea. 2.5. I don't know. Square root of 7 is about 2.6. Okay. Okay, here we go. Center is 0, 0. From there, major axis is the x. So 4. Make sure I count properly. And these are 3 and 3. And these are 2.5-ish and 2.5-ish. Now this one for the vertices, covertices, and foci. Since that's 0, 0, it's just gonna use these numbers here, right? 4, 0, -4, 0. And yes, you could actually do that no matter what your center is. Remember, it's A units away from your center. So you could just add and subtract A to whatever your major is for your vertices. Here's 0, 3, 0, -3, foci, -2.60, and 2.60. And no, the order on these does not matter in the least, as long as you know what is what. Make sure you put both the foci in the foci slot, vertices in the vertices, covertices in the covertices. But which order you put each order pair in does not make a difference. Graph it slightly decently. That's pretty terrible, whatever. And then let's see what's next. Okay, beautiful. What's different here? You see it? Do you? X. We haven't had one with an X in it before. It's all been just X squared, Y squared. You remember what I told you to do? Of course you don't. complete the square. So we're going to regroup this thing. I'm going to write my x's next to each other, leaving some space. I'm going to stick something in there. I don't know what yet. All right. Let me do a little bit of scratch work here. Remember, to complete the square, you do b over 2 squared. So b in this case would be -10 over 2, and you square it. Now I would advise going ahead to simplify this thing, because you're going to need that number in a minute. 25. I need to add 25 here. And let's see, I added 25 here, just a regular old 25, okay. And here I need to add 25. Whatever I add on the left, I must add on the right. Oops, I'm writing on my graph, who cares? Good. Now, we have added the magic number to make this a perfect square trinomial. So it will factor nicely as x minus 5 squared. That's why you should simplify that first, because that's what's going there, including the sign. Plus 4y squared equals, what's that, 16? Okay, now we can do, no we can't, what's still wrong? We don't have standard form yet. It must equal 1. Divide through by 16. So that's x minus 5 squared over 16 plus y squared over 4 equals 1. Now it's equal to 1. So now you can, do what you got to do. A is 4, B is 2, C is going to be the square root of 12, which is 3.5-ish. Square root of 12 is 3.5. I know because 12 is in the middle of 9 and 16, so it's got to be 3.5-ish. What's my center? 5, 0. Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, didn't count wrong. Major axis is x. So I'm going to go 4 units to the right. Go 4 units to the left. Go 3.5 units to the left. 3.5 units to the right. I'm going to go up 2 units. I'm going to go down 2 units. I'm going to write all this crap down. So that's 1, 0. That's 1.5, 0. That's 5, 2. That's 5, -2. Six, 7, 8.5. 2, comma, 9, 0. That should not be a 2, that should be a 0. Error, error, 0, corrected. There we go. So sketch the graph. Literally doesn't matter what order you write these points down in, just make sure you put them in the right spot. So I went in a completely and totally random order there. Left to right, top to bottom, very random. But you see, you just get it. Okay, one to go. Think. Yeah. This is the fun one. So I'm gonna just get that. Worry about the other stuff later. Let's put this thing in standard form, shall we? So first thing I'm gonna do is group my x's, group my y's. Leave some space. This one's gonna take a while. If you're using that packet I gave you, just move it off the side and get some scratch paper. Just like that. I'll go ahead and throw this on the other side. Again, leaving some space. So this time we have to complete the squares for the x and the y. Don't divide by 2 though. It's not negative 32 over 2 squared. See that? Can't have it. Oh, sure can't. Gotta factor it out. So 4 times x squared minus 30. Factor it out. Don't just write it down. Okay. Still gonna be adding something. Don't know what yet. Might as well just write this down again. I'm not gonna do anything until I'm ready to do stuff for everybody. So make sure you factor it out. If it's not 1, can't complete the square. A's got to be 1. Now, return from I'll put that in a second. 2, 4 squared, which is 16. Okay. I need to add 16 right here. Inside these parentheses, I need to add 16. What did I add here to the left side of my equation? I didn't add 16. I added 4 times, if we look at the distributive property, 16. So that's what I got to add on the right side of my equation. 4 times 16. Now right here, I need to add 16 again. I need to add another 16 over here. That's all the calculations. Now I just got to write the thing out. 4, this is a perfect square trinomial now. So it factors just like so. This is also a perfect square trinomial factoring just like so. And this is, let's see, 5 times 16, 50, 80, negative 4. Or you can use a calculator. Okay, we're ready to almost start. Divide everybody by this number right here, which is 4. Just happens to be that number 2, but we don't care. So now, that's just x minus 4 squared plus y plus 4 over 4 equals 1. Now it's in standard form. So now we can actually get started finding everything. Take this, do that, and stick it over here. Okay, so let's start with what's A? A is, that's a 4. What's this? There's nothing there. Is it 0? No, you can't divide by 0. It's 1. It's an understood 1 there. So what's bigger, 4 or 1? So 4 square root of 4, that's 2. B is square root of 1. Oh no, what's the square root of 1? 1. C is going to be square root of 4 minus 1, which is 3, which is a little less than 4. I said a little less than 4, didn't I? Wow. Good thing we're almost done. A little less than 2 is a little less than square root of 4. 1.7. Jesus. So the center is at 4, negative 4. Vertices, let's plot the center first. 4, negative 4. My major axis will be my y-axis. This is going to be a freaking tiny, terrible thing, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to like this one. 2, 2, 1.7, 1.7, 1, 1. Yep, that's what it is. Wonderful. So our vertex, that's at 4, 1, 2, 4, negative 2. 4, negative 6. Vertices, because they're going to be at something negative 4. They're going to be at 3, negative 4, 5, negative 4. This is, yeah, I've done it all the time now. Oops. Oh, that's fine. So yeah, this is at 4, and it's gonna be 1.3-ish, 2.3. If this is 1.7, going up 1.7, you're going to subtract. And so well, that should be negative. So you could just do negative 4 plus my C, negative 2.3, and then minus negative 5.7. Well, that's not exactly right. I want to take off points. More about getting close to the graph anyway. I think I did just mess up the entire video, didn't I? This was a 0.5. It's 0.5, so we're fine. But this is the 0.6. Yep, I messed it up. Wonderful. So that would change. Maybe it wasn't too bad. This one's probably going to change. So the major axis is horizontal. So I need to do 3 minus 4.6. So I should have gotten negative 1.6. It's 7.6. Okay, why am I going crazy here? X is positive. No, that's making sense. Okay, maybe I'm going crazy here. I'm not gonna edit this video, so just watch me go crazy. You can laugh at me, I don't care. Okay. Negative, -4 plus 1.7 should be -2.3 minus 1.7 should be -5.7. Okay, I knew I was going to change there. Why? I don't know. Maybe I didn't mess up. Maybe I did. If I did, sorry. Like, this is probably going to be different. That's it. That's it. If this is the same, I'm just going to whatever. This can't be the same. Yes, okay, so starting at -1 minus 6.3 should be at -7.3. What's that? Okay, I'm crazy. So I thought I messed up earlier. Apparently I didn't. We're good. Yay. It's the new sketches thing. And there we go. See ya.